Hello and welcome into Winter Field. I'm Shaemus Kreider and this is Rafters pregame. It's the West Divisional Championship game in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod here this evening between the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters and the La Crosse Loggers. It's bound to be a great matchup. Wisconsin Rapids is winners of 11 of their last 12. They are steamrolling competition this season in the Northwoods League, and it continued yesterday with an extra inning victory against Fond du Lac. Let's look back at the highlights between Fond du Lac and Wisconsin Rapids. Welcome into Studio B on the campus of Ball State University for Every Athlete Matters, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. I'm Shaemus Kreider. Hello and welcome down to the field. I'm Shaemus Kreider, and this is Rafters pregame. The Rafters go for home field advantage in the Northwoods League Wisconsin-Illinois pod playoffs here tonight with a win. Rafters got one step closer to a regular season pod championship with a win yesterday and 16 runs against the La Crosse Loggers at Copeland Park. Let's take a look back at the highlights from yesterday's victory. Women's volleyball recently wrapped up their first MAC title in 16 seasons, beating Bowling Green in 5 sets in the championship match. They've had their hard work pay off, but off the floor, freshman Michael Ivey keeps up the hard work on canvas. Here is Michael Ivey's story, produced by Peyton Monell. I have another newcomer as my player to watch. It's Dylan Cook. Cook is not a newcomer to the roster, but he's a newcomer to the tight end position. He has alternated from tight end and offensive line over his 4 years at Ball State, but now he's the starting tight end after playing mostly on special teams as technically an offensive lineman. Last year, Cook is going to play a big role. We've seen the Lynch offense predicates itself on using their tight ends, but replacing Kyle Schrank is going to be a task, and it's going to be up to Dylan Cook to fill that role. In the state of Indiana, basketball is an art form. Our Zach Roy collaborated with Muncie artist Leon Crosby for a unique look at the ties that bind Indiana and basketball. This is the men's basketball intro video from SportsLink. Welcome to Ball State University in the new SportsLink Live studio space. I'm Shaemus Kreider, and this is SportsLink Live, and we figured to kick off this SL Live series, we'd bring in the head coach of Ball State football, Mike New. Welcome in.
Thank you. This is an unbelievable facility. I love it. And obviously, that was a great intro video there. I had chills there watching that.
We're just 8 days away from Ball State football getting underway. It's been quite a whirlwind, to say the least, over the last couple of months. You were not expecting a season in the fall. What changes have you made to get this team ready for Miami? You were a quarterbacks coach for a long time prior to taking the head coaching position here at Ball State. What drew you to Drew, and what made him ascend so quickly? Because he has gone from the 4th quarterback in the roster his redshirt freshman year all the way up to starter and now one of the MAC's best. You talk about the shortened 6-game schedule, and that kind of plays into the motto for this year's squad. Last year it was out the mud, and this year it's Detroit or bust. Describe how the team made the decision to adopt that motto. Drew Plitt is going to be leading his Cardinals all season long. We're just 8 days away from the start of MAC football. Ball State going up against Miami next Wednesday. When we come back, we'll talk to head coach Mike New about the defensive side of the football. This is SportsLink Live. Ball State, Miami, CBS Sportsnet, and SportsLink Digital. Coverage starts at 7 next Wednesday. It's going to be a fun one, rain, snow, or sleet. Once again, thanks for joining us, Mike New. This has been SportsLink Live, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Last regular season game between the Loggers and the Rafters started off with a bang. Andy Garriola muscles one out to right for his 5th home run of the season. Garriola has had 4 of his 5 long balls come in the last 2 weeks. The Rafters jumped on top early with their league best 40th home run. Austin Krizik at the plate with the bases loaded in the 2nd, and the Rafters continue to get to Nevin Wall. Wall would allow 9 earned runs to the Rafters on the night. 2 more runs come in to score. Rafters up 5-1. Rafters still batting in the top of the 2nd. Andy Garriola singles down the 3rd base line. 2 runs come home. Runner is thrown out at 3rd, but the Rafters continue to extend the lead with 7 over the first 2 innings. That would set the tone for the offense. Jason DiCochea playing against his brother Christian. Singles into right. Christian DeCochea fields the ball, but 2 more runs come in to score. Raptors expanding their lead even further. In the top of the 8th, Richie Schiekhofer doubles to the wall past the glove of Kobe Kanto in center. Hinderleiter comes on home and Angelo DeCunto is right on behind him. Raptors picked up 1 more in the inning to take a 16-4 lead into the 9th. Gage Smart picked up the save with 3 scoreless innings. And what a play defensively to close it out. Hinderleiter to Garriola. Raptors win their 31st game of the season and set the table for the Woodchuck series here tonight. Welcome into Studio B on the campus of Ball State University for Every Athlete Matters, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. I'm Shaemus Kreider. Hello and welcome down to the field. I'm Shaemus Kreider, and this is Raptors pregame. The Raptors go for home field advantage in the Northwoods League Wisconsin-Illinois Pod playoffs here tonight with a win. Raptors got 1 step closer to a regular season pod championship with a win yesterday and 16 runs against the Lacrosse Loggers at Copeland Park. Let's take a look back at the highlights from yesterday's victory. Women's volleyball recently wrapped up their first MAC title in 16 seasons, beating Bowling Green in 5 sets in the championship match. They've had their hard work pay off, but off the floor, freshman Michael Ivey keeps up the hard work on canvas. Here is Michael Ivey's story, produced by Peyton Monell.